Boyfriend's dream trip turns into a nightmare. I was excluded by dad. My dream trip to South Korea with my boyfriend turned into a nightmare when his dad excluded me from the family vacation. My boyfriend 22M and I 21F have been together for 2 years. The problem is his dad. My boyfriend has always wanted to go there. A few months ago, we started planning our first big trip together and we chose South Korea. We got so excited about it and talked about the food and all the fun things we could do. I felt happy to plan this trip with him, and I also liked learning about Korean culture and the places we could visit. Even started practicing some Korean words and wanted to surprise him by knowing a little of the language. But then I got scared because I've never traveled so far from home before. The idea of being in a new country made me nervous, and I was worried about getting lost or not understanding the language, and also thought about missing my family and friends. I tried to tell my boyfriend how I felt. He was understanding, and he said we could take it slow and plan everything carefully. He didn't want me to feel uncomfortable and even suggested we could go somewhere closer if I felt too scared. I don't want to let him down, and I know how much he wants to go. He has been dreaming about this trip for years, and I want to share this experience with him. My boyfriend talked to his dad about our trip because his dad went to South Korea a few years ago, and he asked his dad for help with the initial planning. His dad even mentioned he might want to go back himself, and he thought the whole family could go. My boyfriend asked if we could tag along on their trip, and he thought it would help us learn the ropes for our future solo adventure. His dad agreed as long as we covered our own expenses. This made me feel a bit better. I thought it might be easier if we went with his family first. I felt more comfortable knowing we wouldn't be alone. His dad could show us around and help if we got lost, and I started to feel excited again. I thought this could be a good way to ease into traveling far from home. I still had some worries and wondered if it would be the same as going just the two of us. I thought about how we plan to explore together and make our own schedule, and wondered if traveling with his family would change that. I worried about having to fit into their plans and not having as much alone time with my boyfriend. But I also saw the benefits, since having his dad there would help me feel safe, and I thought it could be a good first step. I hoped it would make me feel more confident about traveling in the future, and I wanted to make this work for both of us. I decided to give it a try and thought about all the things we could see and do. Today my boyfriend came home looking downcast, and I asked what was wrong. He told me his dad had a change of plans. His dad announced a family trip to South Korea, but this time it was just him, his mom, and his cousin. I felt confused and hurt. My boyfriend asked his dad if I could come. His dad became very dismissive. He said it was a family trip and shut down the conversation. This was hard to hear. I felt left out and disappointed. We had been planning this trip for a while. My boyfriend was frustrated. He had been excited about going together. Now, it felt like his dad didn't care about our plans, and I didn't know what to say. I felt stuck, and I wanted to support my boyfriend, but I also felt hurt. I tried to stay calm and think of a solution, and I told my boyfriend we could still go on our own. We could plan everything ourselves. It would be different, but maybe it could still be special. I wanted to find a way to make this work for us. My boyfriend seemed unsure. He felt torn between joining his family's trip and sticking with our original plan. I understood his feelings. It was a tough situation. I tried to be supportive and told him we could think about it more. This hurts. My boyfriend and I have been together for years. His dad always seemed friendly towards me. We never had any major issues, but looking back, I see some subtle signs. His dad often prioritizes expensive weekends with friends over family activities that include me. He also makes comments about needing quality time with his actual family after spending holidays with us. I never thought much about these things before and always believed his dad liked me. Now, I wonder if he sees me as an outsider. I don't understand why his dad would suddenly exclude me from the trip. I talked to my boyfriend about it. He listened and agreed it felt unfair. He seemed upset, too, and we both felt hurt by his dad's actions. It made us question things we hadn't noticed before. I don't know what to do, and I love my boyfriend and want to be part of his family. Update. Okay, I'm back with an update. There have been some interesting developments. Now, my boyfriend doesn't want to go on this trip without me. He's scared of upsetting his dad. We're currently living with his parents because of repairs at our place. I wouldn't dream of asking him to give up his dream trip, but the thought of him going to South Korea without me after all this planning feels awful. I understand his dilemma. He doesn't want to disappoint his dad. But he also doesn't want to leave me behind. I want him to have his dream trip, but I also feel sad and left out. We talked about it more, and I told him how much I appreciated his support as we tried to think of solutions. First, I thought about encouraging my boyfriend to go with his family. It might be the easiest short-term solution. He could enjoy his dream trip without conflict. We could plan our own trip for later. But it still felt hurtful. We planned this trip together, and it would be hard to watch him go without me. I don't know what to do, and I'm worried about how his dad might react since we're living with them right now, and we didn't want to create more tension at home. Still, avoiding the issue wouldn't solve anything. I'm so sorry if this is all messed up. I'm like, super emotional right now and freaking out with this post. Hey, guys. Thanks for all the comments. They're really helping. One in particular made a lot of sense, so I wanted to share it. Hey, girl, this situation is rough, and I totally hear you. Your boyfriend's dad totally stole your trip idea, and excluding you after you asked for her help is messed up. First, definitely talk to your boyfriend. Explain everything, how excited you were about going together, how much it hurt your feelings to be left out, and remind him about how you originally asked his dad for help planning the trip. If he just wants to avoid conflict and doesn't want to stand up for you, that's a big red flag. A healthy relationship means being able to work through problems together. Listen, I get your boyfriend might not want to fight with his dad, but this is a serious disrespect to you and your relationship. You deserve better than someone who lets their dad walk all over you. It might be tough, but think about it. Are you okay being treated like this long term? If you ever want to get married and have kids, imagine dealing with this for years to come. Here's the thing, your boyfriend might be avoiding a fight because he thinks you'll be okay with him going without you, but it's totally okay to feel sad and left out. Maybe there's room for compromise. Talk to him about including you somehow. Maybe you guys can plan a separate trip later, or maybe you could join them for a part of the trip. Ultimately, the decision is yours. Think long-term about what kind of relationship you want. Is it a deal breaker if his dad continues to be difficult, especially if you consider getting serious down the line? Remember, there are plenty of guys out there with dads who treat their girlfriends with respect. You deserve to be in a relationship where you feel valued and included, not pushed aside. Thanks to all of you for listening and all the advice you've given. I appreciate it and hope you guys wish me luck. So, things got interesting. Update 2. We sat down with him and just had a real conversation. At first, his dad seemed totally shocked that we were upset. We explained how much the trip meant to us. Then, something crazy happened. His dad apologized. Apparently, canceling the trip wasn't some secret plot to ditch me. He admitted he messed up and had other reasons for changing plans. He wanted some quality time with his wife and close family. But here's the best part. My boyfriend's dad totally redeemed himself. He invited me to come on the trip to South Korea with them. He even suggested some ways to make things less awkward, like planning some activities together and making sure we got some time together, just me and my boyfriend. Honestly, it actually worked. We're way closer now, and guess what? We're still going to South Korea. Thanks to all of you for listening and all the advice you've given on past posts about this. I appreciate it a ton and hope you guys wish me luck on this trip.